Hi, everyone. So I'm Charles, and we're going to talk about, in the next 10 minutes, about AI and how it's going to help in the compliance space for medtech. Sorry, how do I work on the slides? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Okay, so who am I? Just for the past 10 years before launching Tracex, I've been working as a project manager in medical device software companies, so both in France and in the UK. I'm working in collaboration with pharma companies, and that's where I could realize that the tools that were given to the medtech companies to work on both regulatory sides, so documenting to send to the notified bodies or FDA if it's directly in the US, and also the tools that were given for the people to do the day-to-day task were very disconnected, and it was very difficult to work from one another. I'm going to go very briefly on the regulatory context. Don't worry, going to be very brief. Then why is it important to have a platform combining everything, like an all-in-one platform for medical device companies like EQMS, so managing trainings, managing documentation and digital signature, very important, and traceability with DHF for the US. Product lifecycle management, so how to manage your day-to-day tasks and your ticket, what the engineers call that, so to implement your requirement specification to user stories and to go into the test management and so on. And of course, business operations, to be able to communicate, to be able to share information, like in a Notion-like tool, to be able to share any information, even if it's not controlled. I'm going to review what's an AI assistant, so how is it very important to have all data for an AI assistant to be able to work, and how we can fine-tune an AI assistant. So I'm going to talk briefly about that, just checking at the time all the time. And a couple of use cases. So Gen AI assistant, so to search information for you. So while you're going to have all the information, your database, and you will be able to search for information very easily, imagine a chat GPT, and to be able to do the search for you. So let's stop wasting time in searching information in your company data. It will do it for you, procedure, technical documentation, anything can be found very easily. Auditor as well, how to make them happy, how AI actually is going to be their friend. So they won't stop wasting time on multiple search, and you will be able to give them access to whatever you want them to look at and to retrieve the information for you. And the last one is the AI assistant, how it will help you for your creating documentation, and of course to revision of documentation. Could be procedures, or it could be technical documents like requirements, tests, whatever you want. It's just a matter of what you want the system to do for you. All right. Okay, so regulatory context. Keep in mind there is a lot of norms, and so I will go fast on this one. But we can discuss. I'm at the booth over there, so we can discuss further. But there are a lot of norms. I mean, that can be very scary. But then you need to. That's why a lot of consulting firms can help you guys when you're a medtech to navigate into this world. But basically, these stuff are important to follow if you want to go to EU, if you want to go to US. So that's very important. So I'll go faster. Keep just two in mind, ISO 13485 and IEC 62304. So that's very important ones, but I'll move fast. Okay, the platform combining everything. So it can only work because it has access to all the information. So that's why it's good to have all information stored somewhere. So you can either give just data, and then to make it work, we can do imagine your chat GPT, you take a file, you attach to your chat GPT, and then it can do the work, but it's not very convenient. You need to combine multiple tools. So the idea is to have one tool where you can work your EQMS, you can create your documentation, you can create your trainings, everything, and also search information inside the platform. So the idea is to have a platform combining an EQMS for quality management system, product lifecycle management, and of course any business operations, because the AI is also trained on any communication you might do in your company. All right, so now, it looks nice. What about an AI assistant? How it can help you? So the idea of an AI assistant is basically an assistant. An assistant needs to get trained. So this little robot, so the way you do it, you're going to get like you have your platform on one hand, you get like an AI assistant supplier, let's say OpenAI for GPT or Gemini or Llama for Meta. So you go to this guy, or Claude actually is one of the models. So you get one of the models. And then once you take this model, you need to test it. So you'll say, because the data of this model is trained on like a lot of data. It's not even domain specific. So it's not very medtech specific at all. It's not very regulatory specific at all. It's like everything. So the idea is to say, okay, I'll test it. What does this AI model can do for me? So you do some prompt. It's a fancy word to say you just ask questions. And you ask questions, you ask questions, you ask questions, and then you assess. And then you say, okay, it's good or not good. Usually you need to refine it. So what you do is that you do what we call fine-tuning. Fine-tuning is that you provide input and output. So you provide the question and the answers. So you provide that, blah, 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 and then you train, you understand. Then you test it, and you will say, okay, you check at your AI assistant, okay, now it's sort of okay, I can start using it in my company. So you do that. I mean, we do that as a company, but that's the way it works. And then you validate, and then of course you can iterate it. You can provide more. You can provide more fine tuning as it goes. You know, it's never ending. But that's the way it works. It's not, you know, it's as simple as that. Of course, couple of 2 minutes more. Couple of things that an AI assistant can do, such as navigation, data entry, onboarding and training people, insight and analytics, a lot of things. Now let's look at a couple of use cases for a specific EQMS tool. When you have an all-in-one platform that will be able to do your procedures and your tasks. Okay, so a Gen AI assistant to help you to search for information for you. So basically, keep in mind, so you do exactly you have your AI assistant, you have a chatbot, you can talk like in your chat GPT, and you will query the database, which is your company data, which is like your procedure, any communication, your technical documentation, anything. So it will query that, and it will retrieve the information for you. So that's a huge gain of time for your company, and especially as a CARA manager. So for example, back in the days, I used to ask questions on procedures to the CARA managers of my previous companies. It's okay, they're happy one time, twice to respond to you in what SOP the information is in, but at some point it's getting annoying. So with this AI assistant, you just query basically your data yourself, and you avoid to annoy the CARA team and the people that could help you. They are busy with other stuff. Another use case is to make your auditor happy. So I will be very quick, same idea. The auditor, you will give access to your auditor to a specific data that you want them to look at. So let's say a folder, a space. You say, hey, look at this auditor, GMED, or in France, or AFNOR. Look at this folder, this technical documentation, this procedure, these versions, and they can search automatically for that. So they will save them a lot of time of searching. They will find the right information. They will be less annoyed, and so that will smooth your audit. So that's a win-win situation also for auditors. And the last one, 10 seconds left, how to create some documentation. So we have discussed that you can train your AI, so you can train them to create documentation or to revise your documentation. Yeah, I'm done. And if we want to continue discussing these topics, we can meet at the booth just over there, booth 27. Thank you very much.